Good morning, good morning, good morning, folks. Very stupid o'clock. Welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. I'm your host, Tiffany Daniels, and we are going back to that horrible world of the JRC. But before we get going, folks, a few of the usual disclaimers. First off, you are going to find the link into this investigative report into the death of Linda Cornelison that was conducted in 1995 right there in the description box, alongside the other pertinent links to the Stop the Shots campaign, including Autistic Koya's massive archive on this subject. Also, tin plates, folks. Tin plates, tin plates, tin plates. I've said it time and again. Sign your name. Click on your senator. Let's end this disgusting crap. This idea that if you're disabled and it causes you to have behaviors that you need to be punished for, something that comes from your neurology, all right? The fact is, adversive therapies, improper restraints, and seclusion kills people every year. We also have the ever-present change.org Shut to Judge Rotenberg Center Down petition. Now, folks, when we talk about the JRC, trigger warning, you're going to hear vivid descriptions of and catch clips or surveillance footage of peoples with disabilities being tortured and abused. If you have young children present, please use your headphones. And, folks, it is 4:05 a.m. stupid o'clock in the morning. I'm barely coherent, and I don't even know why, but I'm like angry at air. I'm probably going to need Mr. Kitten over here to be like sitting in my lap purring at me while on the phones to keep me calm. So if I stumble over my words, stare off in the space, or just break out in a bunch of curse words, my apologies in advance. Him's apologies in advance. He curses and meows. He does. All right. Okay, so going back to where we left off yesterday, I'm going to reread the sentence, even though I know I started it yesterday. All right, several notations are made by W2 during the last 2 months of Vi's life concerning her diet and weight. These are reflected in the records and noted by Consultant Watch in her report, followed by her comments. On October the 18th, 1990, and November the 1st, 1990, W2 stated, Vi is doing well on the special food program. No weights were documented. For the love of God, who the hell is going to do well on a program where you have to earn your right to eat nutritional food? Doing well, my ass. God, what is wrong with these people? On November the 13th, 1990, he saw Vi and stated specialized food, red line, 100 pounds, present weight 104. So she wasn't doing well, considering your court order was to keep her at 108 pounds. And you fail at life, and you fail fulfilling a court order, yet somehow you're still open. Good God. Only 2 weeks later, on November the 28th, 1990, W2 noted that Vi's red line was 113 pounds. Oh, it's actually higher than 108. And her weight was 107. Therefore, he ordered an increase in calories. W17 on November the 13th, 1990, had ordered an increase in calories as well. However, it was not until December the 12th, 1990, that the diet was increased from 1,500 to 3,000 calories, which was 2 and 4 weeks respectively after the physician's orders to increase the calories, and 2 months after a 1-inch height increase was noted, which in part triggered the need for the calorie increase, as it does in a growing adolescent. God. Of paramount concern to Consultant Walsh was the use of special food program and the constantly changing parameters for the red line weights. And as Consultant Walsh went on to state, there was significant weight loss resulted from the use of this program. Yeah, I would think so. The December 1989 weigh of 125 pounds for a height of 64 inches is well within the acceptable range. I find no grounds for dietary modification based on this weight. By November the 30th, 1990, weight had dipped to 104 pounds. However, the program description of September 26, 1990, outlined if weight fall to the 108 or below. Not all laboratory tests mandated by the court for the special food program are available. Of note, however, is a December 1989 annual medical evaluation noting a hemoglobin of 14.1 and hematocrit of 42.5. Nutritional consult of January 1999 noticed a hemoglobin of 13.5 and a hematocrit of 39.5. Although these laboratory changes may be statistically irrelevant, given the type of diet Vi was receiving and her continued physical growth, a formal discussion between physician and dietitian should routinely have taken place. Any dietitian who says you need to get only 80% of your nutritional value has no business being a dietitian and should have their license, certification, whatever it is that they get, revoked immediately. My God, if somebody were to pull that shit over here at Mercy Hospital, fired. Fired. Just saying. Due to the complexity of the nutritional and medical issues regarding the food program, Consultant Deborah Descent, MS, RD, LDN, was retained to assist in the investigation. Her report is attached as Appendix E. She found, oh, for the love of God, I got a solution. Stop doing the fucking food program and making people earn their right to eat, and maybe you won't have problems with maintaining proper weight. Just a thought. The program did not guarantee that Vi was provided enough kilocalories to maintain her health. Vi would have needed at least approximately 1,737 calories and 39 grams of protein, 2 per day, to maintain her red line of 108 pounds. It is not recommended that any consumer receive less than 1,000 calories per day or to do so without vitamin and mineral supplementation, or period, at all. The average adult calorie intake is supposed to be 2,000 per day, folks. 2,000 per day. It is impossible to meet the RDA on 300 calories. There were even existed slightly possibility that Vi would not receive enough calories to meet daily needs over periods of time is a serious flaw in the design of the special food program. Or how about the entire idea and concept of the special food program is insanity? How about that? How about starving people for having behaviors that come from their goddamn neurology is batshit insane and shouldn't exist? How about that? How about that? Just saying. I would understand a program where you would have to, earn your snacks. And what am I talking about? Maybe you do something for your parents and you get to have a little bag of chips. Or maybe some Oreos. That sort of thing. That I would understand. But when you have to earn literally your nutritional value for the day, that is insane. Moving on. All clients should be provided with adequate calories regardless of behavior. Thank you. Vi was on a safeguard provision called makeup. This provision should not have been removed. Oh my God, they removed, hold up. So you're telling me even their makeup food, that soy paste, disgusting liver powdered thing that most people are not going to eat anyway, that was removed from her program? Is that what you're saying? God. Nutritionally, 87.5% of the ideal body weight is low. To strive for a percentage of IBW, ideal body weight, that is normally associated with mild nutritional depletion is inconsistent with optimal nutritional status. Ketone testing is not routine and is usually only done when it's suspected that someone is not getting enough calories. If ketones build up in the blood, they could cause the blood to become too acidic, leading to possible coma and death. That BRI tested for ketones indicates an awareness of the potential side effects of the specialized food program. In other words, they're well aware of what they're doing, folks. They just don't care. The method by which the BRI dispenses food through a belt feeder is a serious concern with regards to sanitation and food safety. Thank you. So I have worked off and on in food service quite often. And the idea of carrying your food around you in a belt all fucking day long just spells disaster. Just spells disaster. Keeping things at room temperature that should be refrigerated or heated for the sake of safe eating. Just saying. Staff stated Vi did not realize the relationship between getting the right answer on the computer and receiving food. She did not generally know how to get the right answer on the computer, and thus did not get rewarded for food. If she didn't earn her food, it was thrown out. She got real thin. She was skinny. Yeah, because you were starving her to death. The BRI nutritionist stated, I have never approved 20% of 1,500 calories to 300 calories. That is not adequate. Gee, you fucking think? Finally, as consultant Destin stated, I regard a number of the practices that the BRI engaged in regarding the nutritional well-being of Vi with grave misgivings. In the light of the information brought forth in this report, it is my professional opinion that a review of the way BRI uses food as a behavior modifier by registered dietitians and physicians be undertaken to ensure nutritional well-being at BRI's clients. I also feel that a dietitian nutritionist that is there 3 hours a week would not have sufficient time to thoroughly follow such high nutritional risk clients as those that are on the specialized food program. Additional findings and conclusions with respect to the belt feeder. The belt feeder is part of the food program. It is a vending type machine holding storing food that is to be dispensed to the student upon task completion. The unit has 46 to 48 shelves. The shelves are approximately 4 inches wide, 2 inches high, and 4 inches deep. The unit is not refrigerated. In 1990, the food was stored for the breakfast period from 9 to 11:30 a.m. and for lunch from 11:30 a.m. until approximately 3:30 p.m. Computers and rewards meal portions are set up prior to the students sitting at the computer in a belt feeders. The belt feeders were not in 1990 and still are not refrigerated. The food items in 1990 remained in the feeder for specific times. For example, breakfast was earned and food was stored from 9 to 11:30 a.m. Lunch was earned and stored from 11:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. Approximate times according to staff intervened. Students also earned pennies for computer completion. Okay, let me get this straight. Back in the 90s, I know because I remember having to study it, it was proven that children who did not eat a full breakfast found it much more difficult to be able to concentrate and to learn during early morning classes. But you all made them go to class without being able to concentrate, and because of their lack of being able to concentrate, then denied them breakfast. Really? And you wondered why they acted out and had behaviors. God. You know that's dangerous to do to a growing child, right? Staff interviewed were consistent in statements relative to never having received training regarding the dividing of portions of food to be stored, both in 1990 and when interviewed for this investigation. Staff stated it was difficult to determine exactly how many calories to calculate on the recording sheets because as many as 40 portions may have been in the belt feeder. You could, I don't know, pay attention to your students. Or better idea, quit putting them on this stupid food program. As stated above, one could not tell from the food sheets whether the food is thrown out because the mealtime period was ending or if the student broke the contract. According, the amount of calories a student ate was further compounded by the fact that there was no way to precisely measure the amount of calories in the portions of food put on the belt feeder. Staff cut up the portions and had to estimate the amount of calories in a sliced portion and then determine how many calories in that portion. As one staff person put it, we could put food on wax paper, eggs, meat, etc. You'd have to be a good guesser visually as to how many slices to break it into. Oh, for the love of God. Staff further reported that they received no training regarding the sectioning of food to be stored in the unit, the counting of calories relative to the portions of food dispensed or thrown out, and the types of food that couldn't be stored. Why am I not surprised? Sufficiently trained my ass. Or the amount of time that was acceptable to serve the food. Gloves were available for staff to use. However, staff reported that this issue was not addressed in training. They stated gloves were not worn because BRI does not employ food preparation staffing in the classroom. They further stated that they could be doing several other things at the same time, such as administering an adversive. Fucking hell, I hate these people. So we're going to go ahead and close out for this morning because, in spite of being short, that was rather loaded. So you have a consulting nutritionist having grave concerns about this food contingent program. And who can blame them? There are several things wrong with it. Several things wrong. For one thing, even that mashed soy disgustingness that nobody's going to eat covered in liver powder was apparently removed for makeup calories on her sheet. You also have this problem in the regards to the fact that it has been found in studies, including from this exact time period, that children who did not get a full breakfast in the mornings before attending school had much harder time concentrating and were more likely to act up in the classroom as opposed to paying attention to the tasks at hand. Yet these motherfuckers made them go into the classroom first and earn breakfast. Okay? To compound on top of that, they're talking about these belt feeders, these vending machines that are not even refrigerated. Okay, anybody who's worked in the call center knows about the rotating freaking, we called it the rotating refrigerator of death, where it's basically were going to risk something by eating out of the vending machines that had like your sandwiches, your hot dogs, your burritos, for example. It was like playing Russian roulette with a vending machine. And even that thing was actually refrigerated. When you are doing things like eggs and other breakfast foods that you are keeping at room temperature, and like, what do you think's going to happen? Of course, the kid's going to get sick. Sanitation and food safety apparently goes out the window with these people. It is insane. So, I have no idea in the name of God how this school continues to be allowed to operate, considering everything that's been brought up against them, even about the simplest of things, including how they store their food. So, on that note, I'm going to go ahead and close out this morning. We don't get very many views on this channel, especially on this subject. The few that we do tend to get removed from time to time. So, folks, please don't forget to hit that like button, hit subscribe, don't forget to hit the comments. I do appreciate your time this morning. And as always, we here at Spilling Tea help you have a good one. Bye-bye.